Not surprised at all. It's who he is. It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of proof.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done.
Promotion. November 14th, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis has officially been canceled. I know that we all speculated that it would be, and I was pretty much for sure that it would be canceled, but now we have official confirmation.
The boxing world is in shock after Leonard Ellerbe finally broke his silence on Gervonta "Tank" Davis's recent arrest. An incident that has sent shockwaves through the sport and led to the official cancellation of the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight. What was set to be one of the biggest crossover boxing events of the decade has now been scrapped as legal troubles.
Tank's career.
9:30, 10 or so. Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying Most Valuable Promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Cancellation Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly, said Nikisa Badarian, CEO of MVP. While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Cancellation Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel and Casino for their partnership.
Ellerbe, longtime promoter, former CEO of Mayweather Promotions and closely tied to Davis's promotional orbit, publicly declared that the situation had crossed a line. His alleged words were blunt, saying that Davis's legal troubles render the Paul fight not just improbable, but impossible, and that the boxer's standing in the sport may be in serious peril. Reports indicate that Jake Paul's camp has made a formal offer to Ryan Garcia to replace Gervonta Davis and step into the headlined slot on November 14th. Multiple sources say Paul's promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, reached out to Garcia amid the fallout from Davis's legal troubles. The offer reportedly targets a potential December date, giving Garcia a window to negotiate.
Man, it's just wrong. So as of today, November 2nd, this fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, come on, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is. He's just a big name, good-looking kid.
Rolando Romero didn't hold back after the news broke that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis had been canceled. Romero blasted the stacked cards collapse, saying Paul got exposed for chasing a spectacle instead of a proper opponent, and challenged him directly, claiming he'd slap him around if the fight ever happened. At the same time, Romero turned his fire on Ryan Garcia, accusing him of dodging a rematch they're both contractually owed. Romero labeled Garcia as untrustworthy and scared for backing out of their rematch clause, claiming the boxing world is tired of the talkers and wants...
Important announcement. I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. But Jake Paul gets knocked out cold by me, bro.
Oscar de la Hoya directly addressed rumors that Ryan Garcia could step in to replace Gervonta Davis. He confirmed that such talks never happened and made it clear that if any serious negotiations were underway, he would personally make the announcement. De la Hoya emphasized that Ryan Garcia is focused on other plans and fans shouldn't expect a sudden crossover fight with Jake Paul. His response put an end to circulating speculation and reminded the boxing world that
reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced by me.
The promotional company, Most Valuable Promotions, MVP, confirmed that fans who purchase tickets via official channels such as Ticketmaster will receive automatic refunds within 14 to 21 days from their original point of purchase. For ticket holders who use secondary marketplaces or resale platforms, MVP advised contacting the vendor directly to initiate the refund since automatic processing may not apply. This refund policy is part of MVP's broader statement acknowledging the cancellation of the event and addressing how they are handling fan commitments in light of the cancellation. Multiple sources close to Most Valuable Promotions reveal that Francis Ngannou has emerged as the #1 replacement opponent for Jake Paul. Talks are reportedly underway to finalize what could be one of the most explosive
5 live globally on DAZN. First off, I'll say kudos to MVP for refunding people that did buy tickets to this event and also navigating this thing with professionalism, which they did the entire way through. You got to give them credit for that. They really stayed quiet on the rumor front and just handled things as a professional company. That's all you can really ask for. Jake Paul has, in the last couple of hours, tweeted idiot, and then God has a plan always. Two things that I think are both referring to this fight. First off, calling Gervonta Davis an idiot, I assume, and then obviously, you know, God has a plan always, referring to this thing is probably going to work itself out. Obviously, this video is dedicated to talking about future opponents for Jake and potential fight dates. I do have something that I don't know if it's misinformation or not, but I'm just going to talk about it here. This is a tweet from somebody named ATalkers5. I don't know how realistic this potentially even could be, but this is from 4 hours ago. They said 2 of the female bouts scheduled for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis undercard are now scheduled for December 14th on the IBF website.
And Ngannou, who stunned the world with his boxing debut against Tyson Fury and later fought Anthony Joshua, remains a massive pay-per-view draw with global appeal. Jake Paul's camp believes Ngannou's knockout power and star presence make him the perfect substitute to salvage the event. However, Ngannou spoke openly against the reports linking him to Jake Paul. He said he would never accept a fight that feels like a publicity stunt. Ngannou believes that after facing elite boxers such as Tyson Fury, a matchup with a YouTuber-turned-boxer like Jake Paul would be an insult to his skill level. His response came shortly after Jake's camp began spreading hints about possible negotiations. Ngannou addressed those rumors directly, saying that fighters should respect their craft and not turn combat sports into a show for clicks. His clear rejection emphasized his professionalism and self-worth. The fans appreciated his honesty and agreed that a matchup between